Attorney General
upset ye papa Sedinam Tamakloe abusia me fasa konya we so amo akwa baso ko so e fa wo mre channel so ha e da so aye be media je chapsa fo e be se wase enne day di kan ye wani twa channel so a e be se se o be subscribe e dey my bobo notification bell no so for more political updates na eye Attorney General ye papa eye Dominic Anyini abusia ye maame eye Sedinam eye Tamakloe former CEO Maslock Black Rasta ababonti ababedi nkomo no chene semu ahwe Attorney General bo afu eye Sedinam Tamakloe papa na edi enti na Black Rasta edi san nkomo we na de na ba de na si ama eye Attorney General ye papa eye Dr. Dominic Anyini ono nso abusua ne bo atumi afu eye ye maami aha eda so aye be media ye be subscribe bo notification bell for podcast update yenko na yetie ensem a eye Black Rasta e de atudwa a eche se e free eye the office of the eye Attorney General yentie emra sesi a yedamase.
Attorney General upset at Sedinam Tamakloe acquittal as disappointed Ghanaians react. Can I read it properly? Attorney General upset at Sedinam Tamakloe acquittal as disappointed Ghanaians react. Jesus have mercy. Sedinam Tamakloe Ationu Christine Sharon. That's a full name. I'm told that her mother was an ambassador in the days to Denmark or Sweden. I've not confirmed that. Her father was a professor. I've not confirmed that. I've dug into her background, and every time I hit the block work. But we'll get to know her better. She was the boss of Maslock. Before then, she worked with a youth agency. My brother, my sister. Then she came to Maslock. And money that was supposed to be given to people who had gone through some level of crisis, we were told that she pocketed that money. Godfrey Dame, yes, the then Attorney General under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo decided to probe this woman, and it came out that she was supposed to stand trial. She went, started the trial, and then when she realized that things were not working out too well for her, allegedly, she told the court she was not well and she wanted to leave and travel abroad for treatment. My brother, right now in Ghana, politicians have made our doctors so useless. Somebody wants to travel to England for a white man to drop eye ointment into his Apollo 13. When he sees a white man, he sees God. So even if the white man pours water into his eyes, his conjunctivitis will vanish. Oh, my son is sick. What is the sickness? Is it malaria? Is it typhoid fever? No, it's behavioral trauma. And he needs a white man to throw him up and say, Baba, back ship, have you any wool? Yes, kind master, 3 bags full. 1 for the master, 1 for the dame, but none for the little boy who cries down the lane. And then, ooh, down the, ooh, down the lane. Then they will bring him back, he's cured. Because a white man has sunk into his ears. They are tired of the No, they don't want to hear it. It's demonic. They want to go to London and see psychologists and hear them sing London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Then they will be well. What a mockery. What a shame. What an allegory. It hurts. Look at how qualified Ghanaian doctors are. President Kufuor sat in this country and went through a major surgery in the hands of Ghanaian doctors. Somebody has Apollo 13. It's only a white man's eye drop that will save him. His son has behavioral trauma, and they read that to be because the father is going through trial. For that matter, he has to go to London and hear British hymns and be well. My brother, that was what Sedinam Tamakloe did. No Ghanaian doctor was able to cure her Politicization disease. No. The disease she had no name in the English medical dictionary. Yet, she wanted the English-speaking people to cure her. How can they treat a disease that they don't know? She had Politicization disease. She went. She jumped bail. She never came. They tried her in absentia and slapped 10 years on her head. She sat in America there and bought a house on mortgage. Looked at the news right there on the screen from Ghana and Sedinam Tamakloe has been, convicted. She's going to jail for 10 years. She probably laughed and poo-pooed on the judgment. She didn't believe the legal system in Ghana to give her justice. Please come along. I beg you. Understand. She didn't have any faith in the legal system in Ghana. She didn't have faith in the health system in Ghana. She left and jumped bail and stayed there and bought a house and got a car and got a driver's license and started attending Beyonce's concerts. Beyonce. Yes. My brother, my sister, in order not to sound like a broken record, we have shown you the photos of the house that she bought. Now, I hear it's been taken away because the mortgage she couldn't pay. You've seen these photos before, right? This is sitting in Las Vegas. The plush, solemn, serene environment that it is. Probably that money that was supposed to go to Kantamanto fire victims was what was used for that. So the court went ahead, gave her 10 years. She didn't care. That was when she even dressed more and stood and posed for the camera. There are some other details I can't share with you for now. Yes. We are not inhuman. We have respect for her as a human being. This is Beyonce's concert. Somebody jailed 10 years in absentia. She's posing before Beyonce. Oh, no. We have to spend money, fly her into the country on extradition, paid over 150,000 American dollars to have a seat in an airplane and be fed 6 times before arriving in Ghana. By force, we have to pay for the extradition. And you know the interesting thing? You know that she filed her appeal 2 years ago, 2024. She filed her appeal 2 years ago. So when she arrived in Ghana, it had already been killed. Because it takes time to kill some of these things. And then she went to jail for a few days. Okay, time to go for the appeal. And she won. But Ghanaians, some Ghanaians are not happy. I have read everything. It's a 94-page document. I've read every single note. And today, I'm going to tell you things. Sedinam wanted this case to be heard in Ghana. She filed from 2024. She might not have come. Her lawyers will still stand for the appeal while in absentia. No matter what her party said, she was not ready to come. I can tell you point blank that the NDC is not in bed with her as it stands right now. And soon you will see. You know what happened? We went into town to talk to a few people, ordinary Ghanaians. In fact, out of about 15 people we spoke to, only about 6 of them knew about this case. The average Ghanaian is busily looking for food. He doesn't even know there's somebody called Sedinam. No. He's busily looking for food to eat. He has never heard that name. There was even one person we asked, Sedinam Tamakloe, actually case no. Who is saying, said that dear, I believe auto gospel no ana. He said, and I said, what? No, they don't. The few who know about the case spoke to us. And what did they say? These are their comments. Watch this.
The optics, as we often will say, the optics don't look good. It's to the ordinary mind, it doesn't speak well. You can immediately suspect some collusion of a sort between the executive and the judiciary to set a former appointee of the NDC administration in Mahama 1, release her and all of that. So all those arguments that we have heard, and yes, it doesn't look good to the ordinary man. But again, when you read the judgment from the Court of Appeal, then again it begins to make you think twice about a number of things. The Court of Appeal, for instance, did not say that no crime was committed. The Court of Appeal said that the standard of proof was not met. And for lawyers, that means a lot. Somebody can say that Black Rasta has stolen. I saw you stealing. But when it gets to court, the prosecutor is unable to prove that indeed it was Black Rasta who stole and not someone else looking like Black Rasta. It's the duty of the prosecutor to prove that. And so if the prosecutor fails to do that, then there's a problem. And there's a standard in criminal prosecution. It's not a civil matter. In criminal prosecution, there's a standard. And that standard is beyond every, putting it in layman's terms, beyond every reasonable doubt. But we could say beyond reasonable doubt. Just so that we want to be sure that we are not putting an innocent person behind bars. So this is one of the decisions that would cause a lot of division among social commentators. But I want to encourage all those of us who are doing the talking, before you speak to the issue, take the two judgments. The judgment of the trial court, read it, understand. It's in plain English. Take the judgment of the Court of Appeal, read it, and you will be able to, in fact, you will better understand the judgment of the Court of Appeal when you have background knowledge of the judgment of the trial court. Then you can ask yourself at the end of the day, after reading it, whether we came or we went.
Personally, I think these people are playing with our minds. And at the end of the day, it is the citizens that suffers. Because look at this issue. If this woman was found guilty then, if whatever they are saying is true, and she was found guilty, and a judge sat on the issue and sentenced her to go and serve, and for some reasons you use capital tactics and leave the country, and now we bring you back because your party is in power, revisit the issue, and at the end of the day, you are not found guilty again. Because this is exactly what is happening. Whatever situation, this is our problem in Ghana. Whatever situation happens, we politicize the issue. We politicize the issue. Issues that are supposed to be dealt with. Look at the amount of money people are looting. Look at the amount of money people are disbursing. And at the end of the day, if Party A leaves office and Party B jails the person, Party A comes back and then acquaint the person. It is becoming unbecoming, and it is the citizens that suffers.
My name is Intim Solomon. People know me as, some people know me as Chemo. This case about Sedinam Tamakloe, I think there are a lot of angles that people will look at. We have that political angle. She's a member of NDC. NDC now is in power, and people did some predictions that they will acquit her and discharge her, and it has happened. So that part will give credence to those who are saying that this is a political issue and that this is how it will end, and obviously that's how it ended. So for some people this thing is so political that there's nothing that we can say that will take that part out. The other side is the court issue and then the technicalities involved. I mean, some people agree that she has done something wrong, but you see, accusing somebody is not enough to convict the person. You have to take the person through the legal process for us all to be convinced that yes, after going through the legal process, the person couldn't defend whatever charges that were against the person. That's where you can say that the person is now convicted criminal or whatever. In her case, they started the trial. She took leave to seek some form of she took leave to have some form of treatment because she said she was sick, but she didn't come back at the time that the court needed her to defend herself. Based on that, there was judgment against her in absentia. I mean, it is normal thing in court. That thing can be done. But you see, even if the person is not available to defend herself, still you have to use the standard of convicting somebody. You can't say that the person is not here to defend herself, so you just want to convict the person. Because even in our own constitution, I think Article 1910 will tell you that it is not by fault for the accused to stand for trial, as in give evidence against herself. She can decide not to even say anything. Based on evidence available, do you think the person should be convicted or not? That's the standard. For me, I have not read details of the main trial, so I don't want to speak much about it. But when you look at the appeal, I have gone through it, and in what I saw, I think this is a fair judgment, or the judgment based on what is in the appeal. For me, I think is a good one. Some people disagree, and I've heard that even the Attorney General wants to just take it to the next level, or also appeal the judgment. I think that's the process that we have to follow. But you see, since we cannot detach the political party colors or the political angle of it, it will be really difficult. For those who are not for the NDC, who say that no, they are just doing their political thing. And for those who are for MPP or others, who say that, well, this thing, we just have to go through the process. Because for them, they did the right thing to convict her. And then the NDC, they don't have a good party. And I think that's what is bringing this. Because we have all heard that they acquitted and discharged some NDC members when they come to power. I think even the Attorney General at the point was just filing nolli prosequa without going through the process. I mean, when you talk about nolli prosequa, it means the Attorney General is no more interested in the case going on. And we know about the Atoforcing case, we know about the Jakpa case and all those things. So for me, it is really difficult to take a stand, especially if you are a technical person like me. But my general overview is that the way that the political coloration is taking over our judicial system, we have to do something about it. But the main case, as in the acquittal, the appeal case, I am with the judge. Based on evidence available to them, I think the judge did a good job. Or the judges, because they were three, they did a very good job.
Sedinam Tamakloe. Emran na adwuma. Sene yina enim. Ya mo bi 15 years. And so okoya appeal onya 1 year no propo when twan papa hu se obafi nti me fa no se Sedinam onu so tumi akọ en wanye ni trade di mu a meni wana me makola no mankobi ni judge ne kan no onu wa hwe mo amose the spirit and latter enu wa hwe the merits no na wo mu na the merits no waja na she has pleaded her case and acquitted and discharged eni hu asem kan so we feel say hu asem bi wo hu bi mu a nipa betimi asan na ya den asan raise na hu asan ya den afra asem ti ma din check akara no
to me dear me hu ne say eye from so ona o bisa na asem ne sesia no me pa bisa o say aso ampa say katamanto shi no ye ma na sika so fa nko man microphone no wo ho na on fa nko ana
yes
ampa say ampa de sa ne pa no wo say nkunu de na ye wo say uniform na me hu we bi wo Facebook na me comment say me ni ya ndc ni ya missing mark no sesia ya missing mark no ya ma MPP for big chance say omo reorganize omo ho no omo mla power biom. There are so many people I was omo nko se beble ko a na ochina NDC ni power biom a obia ni ho obedi Ghana sika biom obia betu ni hufo sesia na chama wuntumi wo mu yi sesia na chama wuntumi wo mu yi I swear omo tu galam se bia bebisa ne ho se aso ade na betumi chena enti se ayi mami we film no ba abontin a bia obia be ya biom ya ntimi nka ho hwe no man na se sa agise ya ye obi bribi no man na ya yie resetting agenda no se si a me hu se afeli enti me na ma adwen nyina ni se yeah, mo ye ne de ya missing mark no. Ya missing mark completely. Ya missing mark. You ask where we o man sika ni sesi o man. Na yen say politician bia be for man sika. You go be do o man sika kwa na di no kwan paso. Men di no kwan money so. Na o hwe you tu ni amount for bia e bre ni ade a. Ye man katanga ne nko ye. E man na penimu be sori aye kataye proyese na waji omani sika na wacho akwaji omani sika tuju na wedi ebi say wait mark asamba ko we say untumi case ya bai ebi anu no so ade no how so ube sa na wedi omani sika ni emi wede yampa o le martina neka say yampa pa dia na inde nyekwa omani dia ko ni dia say you should not be see on my way because Ghana na ya wono they say I peaceful country and person one day better so and you see oh we dwane ni baby fa na ntoko go see Ghana ya fine and na dem ka me bua ntini penu for mo Ghana no mo nse na mo ye bibi for na Ghana ni e bre ya person ntoko be see Ghana o ni dem mo ka me.
Well, ordinary Ghanaians on the street, yes, of course. They are those who vote. They are those we have vowed to work for. And this is what they have to say. Who are the judges who ruled on Sedinam's case at the appeals court? Do you know them? Sedinam Tamakloe was freed by a 3-member panel of Court of Appeal judges consisting of Justice Emmanuel Ankama, Justice Emmanuel Senyo Amedahe, Justice Samuel Obingdiewu, and the appellate judges reached a unanimous decision to overturn her 10-year prison sentence, ruling that the original High Court trial judge had improperly shifted the burden of proof onto the defense, and that the prosecution failed to prove his case beyond a reasonable doubt. dash. That's according to the BBC. Now, let's go to the government and find out exactly what is happening. First and foremost, the Minister of Communication at the presidency is Felix Ofosu-Kwakye. He has spoken, and he spoke with my very good brethren, Obi. Oh yes, he spoke with him on Asempa. He spoke a lot, and I need us to listen. This is where all the information is. Watch this.
This morning, all prepare to host the Attorney General Jubilee House media briefing. No, the Court of Appeal delivered a judgment on Sedinam Tamakloe. Mijini said Ote and Sana most starting a press conference. No, when news broke, no, how did you receive it? Net was Ote say court no quit discharge no.
The position of government on South was expressed by the Attorney General in court. Indeed, many of the responses have been misdirected. You know what? You see, one of the things is you see on my women, and it's a betrayal in the analysis of issues that come. In Peninka say, there's no basis, absolutely none, not one, a zero basis to blame government for anything that the appeals court has done. But my sister, I'm for condemning government. But let me repeat, there's no basis for that.
Really?
What is the basis for accusing government, Obi? If an appeals court makes a ruling, how do you blame government? You are the trained lawyer, can't you hear me? No, Obi, you tell me.
No, sir. On the things that happen behind the scenes, people may know.
What things have happened, Obi? What things have happened?
I'm not saying something has happened behind the scenes. I'm saying if something happens behind the scenes, that people will not know.
No, Obi. So catch me. What has happened behind the scenes? Say it publicly. What has happened behind the scenes? And then you see behind the scenes.
What is public now is that the Court of Appeal has ruled acquitting and discharging.
So who ruled? Who ruled?
The Court of Appeal.
So who answers for the Court of Appeal's ruling?
The judiciary, of course.
So what is the basis for attacking government? So you see, we must avoid the motive responses. Facts were why you avoid the motive responses. Why, Obi? Another question: was it not the judiciary of Ghana, represented by the High Court, that sentenced
Sedinam? Yes.
Only as a sentence, no. Why the case Akufo Addo sentence Sedinam? And as MPP are buying a sentence Sedinam. So how is it that when the High Court, the same judiciary, a committee will be a papa, but the same judiciary can say Yeja will be a assembly? How do we reconcile these two positions? The point is that in 2024, I think April,
yes,
High Court a committee Sedinam and of sentencing to 10 years.
10 years. Sure.
I think the month after that, 9th May 2024, 2 clear years ago, and I said in an appeal sentence. Because Attorney General, this has no court, no, Ofiabemu, January 2025, and Attorney General for buy. Attorney General for buy, no, oppose a year appeal now. Said in the court.
Yes.
And appeals court SSA date for judgment. And no more a ruling. Attorney General Babontia Beka say he disagrees with the ruling. He believes that the High Court judgment, was sound and had merit. And he will do 2 things. He will file for a stay of execution, and then he will appeal.
Appeal, sure.
Obi, what else is there to do at Abanye? And what would be the basis for attacking government for this ruling? How does government bear responsibility for an appeals court ruling?
And I get the sense you vehemently disagree with Omoa Ekase, and I've read posts from some CSO players because this is not good for the optics.
You see, Obi, let me address the issue of optics.
Yes.
Why? The court of Ghana, or for that matter, the court of any other jurisdiction in this world, do they convict people for optics? And do they free people for optics? When Sedi was convicted, was it for optics?
No.
And how can we argue, say, because of optics, you know, say, Obi differ, and my young too, and I will be deep more, young too. So that optics argument does not happen. With the greatest, it's an emotional argument, not a logical one. The judicial system is set up to ensure, say, nipa a different pet any romatu if you say an idea on the two if you say. Because a human institution, the mistakes can be made. So as I say.
Yes.
So nipa na the two if you say no. So if you say you didn't need year, a man who can say or appeal. Or appeal, two things can happen. Either say the initial rule judgment of the court will be upheld. And I say so one of two outcomes. One outcome has come out today. So what can you say optics are? What is optics? So because of optics, I should come and block you and put you in prison. So that I will satisfy public opinion. You and I know, and you are the practicing lawyer. Courts don't deal with public opinion. They don't. And finally, they deal only with what they believe to be the facts. In fact, even appeals court ruling, you can go higher than that.
Yes. Yes.
And Obi, in this country's history, there have been many appeals court decisions that have overturned high court decisions. In fact, after forcing, it was under the MPP in appeals court overturning a
high court
submission of no case ruling in a high court here.
Yes.
So if the same appeals court takes another decision, doesn't matter which government is in power. And how does the government of the day bear that responsibility? What is the basis for it?
Yeah, but Felix, when you look at how things happen into
now, Felix Ofosu-Kwakye is doing his very best to explain to the Ghanaian public what really happened. Sedinam was jailed by the NPP government, or in the regime of the NPP government. And you heard him live. She jumped bail during the NPP administration. The NDC came and pushed to have her extradited. And when she came, it was time for her to go to the appeals court. Can I explain that part better? She filed her appeal 2 years ago in 2024, anticipating today that her lawyer would go to court and fight on her behalf to give her justice while she was still in America. My brother, my sister, and God being so good, we were able to get her here in extradition, and she started serving her sentence. When she started, it was time to go to the appeals court. She went and she won. Now, who were the judges who freed her at the appeals court? They were judges who were put in there by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Did you know that? They are not NDC judges. They were judges who were put in there in the regime of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And all they sought to do was to look at the law. As we heard, they never said there was no wrongdoing. All they are seeking to tell the public is that the onus of proof does not lie on the accused. And there's not enough evidence to say that this woman should go to jail. So she's been acquitted and discharged. You know who caused the whole problem? Godfrey Dame. Today, I took time to speak with a number of lawyers, and they all think that Godfrey Dame did a very poor job. Very poor. Now, in the case of Atu Forson, charges were filed so haphazardly. At the end of the day, Atu Forson was freed in the days of the NPP. Then there was this other gentleman called, what's his name? I'm trying to, find it. Hansen, a name like that. My brother, my sister. In fact, these are the people we are talking about. Ernest Thompson, Atu Forson, and then also this other guy called